G'day, so in the last video, part 1 of the self-containment videos, I put the smell or waste traps in on the 2 sinks. Since then I have changed things. The loop that I had, it was too much rise for the, I mean it worked, but it was too much rise for the water to sort of come all the way back up and then down. So although it worked, it was quite slow and the water would build up a little bit in the bottom of the sink. So with the sink here, I've got it screwed down so I won't lift it up, but basically there's from this bit, the drain hole, it goes into a little thing you might remember, and then it's got a solid bit of plastic. That was how it came stock, so I've just cut a slight bit out of that hard pipe and just plugged that the $20 pre-made waste trap straight into there. So that works really well now, with no worries at all. And then with the bathroom one, again I removed that loop and I've just made it quite a lot easier. So the water now just drops down and there's not so much rise. Obviously it's just got to go up this bit and then down. So there's still water right up to the top on this bit here, so it still works as a smell trap, but it's just an easier path for the water. So if I was doing this myself, if you were looking at this video on what to do, I'd do it this way. Pay the extra $20 for that smell trap in the sink. It's worth it. And I've also put the smell trap under the floor of the caravan for the shower. So I'll go and show you that now. The bottom of the shower is obviously here. Water drops down. I just remove this pipe. Remove this whole pipe. Quite easy. Just pops out. Cut a little bit out of here and then just plug this into both sides, connect it back up, and then also over here there was 2 of these drainage pipes coming off. One came from the shower and the other one here came from the 2 sinks, so I've just replumbed this. Instead of having 2 outlets, it now just goes into the one with a T-junction and a new bit of pipe here. Obviously it was another sort of 3 or 4 inches longer, so now it just comes out of the one socket, which I'm going to have to alter anyway when I connect up the waste pipes into the tank. So that's still going to be done, but again it's only going to take 5 minutes, like everything does with these pipes. It's all click in and click out. Right, so the self-containment kit, I've traded me the piping kit into the waste tank, finally showed up. It wasn't as advertised. It was meant to be, it said Plug Strategy Caravan. Obviously that's not the case. It came with all different bits and pieces, which are reasonably easy to assemble if you know what you're doing. If you don't, you'd still be screwed. So this was the waste tank that came with the caravan, a gnarly old Wastemaster Aqua Roll or something. I think I worked out it's about 38 litres. So to modify this, I needed to make a vent. This is the vent pipe that came with the kit. I needed to make this attachable to this. So I had to drill a 32mm hole in the top with a hole saw. It was a little bit tricky to get this threaded part in. So okay, so basically with the vent, it came with the small. It came with a small Pope 20mm BSP nut and 30mm tail unit. It was attached to this hose. Now this was made for a Fiamma roll tank, which apparently has a connector you can just turn it straight onto, but this one didn't have anything. So drilled the hole, got a new one of these from Bunnings. It's got a larger end, so this one I couldn't find an adapter anywhere at Bunnings for it, so I just ended up getting this exact same model Pope, whatever it's called, nipple thing, that has a more standard size but yeah, so basically I could just get a standard 18mm hose connector and this bit, and they come with a bit that goes into here, which was this part here. So those are the same size, piece of cake really. The hardest part of this whole thing was getting this inside and up and inside and poked out. So I just got a big long bolt, fed it through the middle of this, and then just sort of opened this one here up, fed it through, pulled it up, and just gave it a good couple of yanks till I could get some thread out and pull it all the way through with that. So yeah, that connects up onto there now. So with these vents, the idea of them is that you want to have this end of it above your highest sink. So look in your kit, they're going to be the same height most likely, but basically just get this above the height of the sink, and yeah, that's the job done. You can tick that off for the self-containment part. The second bit obviously you need to modify is a way to get the waste from your caravan into this. So I just took this top port here, drilled another, again a 32mm hole through the top, and then just attached the bolt to the bottom and then screwed this through. So now that goes onto there, the waste tank sorted. The next part was the drain hose from the caravan into the tank. So use one of these. Doesn't have any measurements or anything on there, so you'll just have to, I mean, if anyone needs to know the diameter of these to pick these things up separately, it could be cheaper than buying the kit. Just let me know and I'll measure these things for you. So that goes on there. Obviously the hose will be connected to it. So that's coming from the caravan. I'll shorten this up because obviously you don't need 3 meters. I'll cut it down to probably 1 metre. So the other end of this, you're going to have another one of these same bits. And then coming out of the caravan, you're going to have this. So I'm just going to give it a fixable hose that I got left over from the those drainage from the smell gates I tried to make with a loop, and I'll just connect this into this with probably a one of those nut things you tighten around the outside. I might have a couple here. A hose pump. That's the name of it. So and then this will just be sitting. I'll wire it and bolt it onto the caravan, and then basically when you're ready to use it, you just pop that on, open the waste, and it'll drain straight in. And that should pretty much be the waste system sorted and the piping sorted. So all I have to do now is just tape up that clear water piping up by the water pump in my caravan, and we should be good to go. And it also, the kit also came with some ends for these, which I will cable tie to the unit so I don't lose them, which I no doubt would. Yeah, so that's pretty much it with the waste. It's pretty easy. Again, yeah, if you want to buy these items separately, it probably works out cheaper. Just give me a yell, comment on the bottom, and I can do some measurements to work out exactly which ones you need. Cheers. So I've got everything connected up now. As you can see, I've got the vent pipe coming up, just hanging in the window. I've got the waste coming out of the caravan and straight into here. As you can hear, everything's running as it should do. The only thing I've got left to do is connect the base of where it comes into the tank firm or securely up onto, there's a wooden block there, and then also got to obviously fix those clear pipes. But apart from that, everything else according to the handbook is done. So I'll get a self-containment officer in here now just to check everything off. If there is any alterations I've got to make, I'll make sure I post another video about that. But well, according to everything I've read, this should pretty much be it.